time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit 3magnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors, retirement, financial planning, and investments.
Securities offered through Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Private Client Services are not affiliated. Private Client Services is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your fall season. And boy, it is just such a wonderful time in the state of North Carolina. This is my favorite time of year, Blake. It's mid-September to mid-October and even into late October. I don't love the cold weather. I don't love the hot weather. This is where it's at. And so I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a great mood, not just because I'm talking to you, because I'm always in a good mood talking to you, but even better mood because of just the time of the year that we're in. So my friend, how are you?
Doing great. I couldn't agree more. Love this time of year. We got hopefully another month of just ideal weather.
All right, so today we're talking about fall real estate with Blake, and I've got an interesting topic I want to put in front of him that has to do with what happens when you decorate your home or don't decorate your home if you're in the market to buy or sell. But we're going to get to that in just a second. Blake, let's get maybe a market update though, since the last time we spoke, which I don't know if a lot happens this time of year in terms of changes from month to month, but how are we looking here in mid-October?
Well, I think I've if anyone's been like listening to this for a while, this is going to sound familiar because the fall is typically a better time for buyers because there's more inventory. So that being said, there are obviously sellers selling because there's more inventory. There's more houses coming on the market. So we started the year under 900 active houses in Forsyth County. We're now close to 1150. So we're over 25% more inventory than buyers had this time last year. And I think that's a good thing. I think that buyers typically do get a quote unquote better deal in the fall because there's less competition. There's just, I would say we started the year that for every seller, there was one buyer. Well, now for every seller, there's probably, for every three sellers, there's one buyer. So, and that kind of comes back to what we were talking about I feel like in the last one, which is sellers if they're putting in the work, they can still succeed and they're going to like what they're going to succeed at, I think. But if they're not putting in the work, frankly, it could be a challenge. And they either won't sell or they're gonna have to keep dropping their price.
Yeah. We're in a fair market is I think the way that I put it last time. And I think everything you said is just it's a fair, healthy, competitive market.
Yeah, I think the number one thing I'd like for folks to understand is I don't see massive turns either direction. I don't see it whoa improving and I don't see it whoa declining. We're here, as a top 3 growth state, top 3 city in the growth state. We're gonna continue to grow, so I'm not really worried about too much inventory. I'm not really worried about not enough anymore. It's kind of a good spot, and I think 26 will end up being slightly better than 25, just like 25 was slightly better than 24.
I neglected to mention that along with everything else good that comes with fall, that you have firmly entrenched yourself in sweater vest season.
Oh, I hashtag vesting, hashtag vested life. I'm such an old, as my 13-year-old likes to say, boomer. I'm not a boomer, but he loves to call me the boomer. I love a vest, man.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Don't get me fired up about my vest.
I love the fact that we're there. It's again,
yeah.
it is just another thing that I can pile onto the reasons why I love this time of year. Because I don't think I've never been able to pull off a sweater vest. I don't really wear them, but you, my friend, very nice. Very nice.
Listen, I love a good 4 different seasons in one day. I like it.
Okay, so we're not going to get a whole lot of changes in terms of what the market is going to look like from now until the end of the year. But for anybody who's got an eye on Q1, January through March of 2026, anything that people should be thinking about if they're kind of on like a 3 to 6 month plan of getting ready to buy or sell?
Yeah, well, I would say the move up or move downers who are going to do both, who are going to buy and sell. If you could, in a perfect world, you would purchase in October, November, December, and you would sell in January, February, March. Like that, if you could do both, that would be you took advantage of what is typically the buyer's time, which is the last 3 months, and the seller's time, which is the beginning of next year. Usually our market starts earlier than it used to, right? It used to be April. Now every year it's inched back, and I think it's more of a Valentine's Day beginning. So weather depending. So I would just say if you are considering it, consider getting in on the buy side ASAP. If you can't buy before you sell, then starting either hitting us up for our renovation program opportunities to get your home ready, or at least just feel really comfortable, which is what we're starting to do a lot with people right now, which is feeling comfortable about where they're going so that they can get the sale of their home ready.
Life is full of celebrations, birthdays, holidays, life milestones, and so much more. And who has been helping generations of families celebrate these events? Our friends at Dewey's Bakery. And even if you aren't planning for something in the near future, you don't have to wait to enjoy something savory and delicious from Dewey. Maybe you just need something to get you through your Monday. Drop by every Monday for a free Cake Square Day. No purchase necessary. Just come celebrate the start of a new week. So, if you're hearing this ad on a Monday and you're in your car, reset that GPS and get to one of their 3 Triad locations immediately in Winston-Salem at Thruway and Renolda Manor, plus one in Greensboro at Friendly Shopping Center. And any day of the week, you can find the perfect item with fast and easy ordering options at local.deweys.com. Plus, Dewey's does so much to help celebrate our community. To date, they've given back over $4 million to local schools, churches, and other nonprofits. Your next celebration isn't complete without something special from Dewey's Bakery. Dewey's. Celebrate every day.
So this is the time where if you were doing that renovate now, pay later program, these next 2 to 3 months could be when you do those renovations.
100%. Yeah. I think this is, for sellers, this is the best time. And we typically do a fair amount of renovations in the fall that hit the market in the spring. We can do them, by the way. A lot of it can take a week, but we can at least get the conversations in, the preparation in, and be ready to go.
Okay. All right. So it's speaking of getting your home ready, this is something I wanted to ask you because it's something that I think about as more of the consumer of somebody who would buy or sell a home. And I pose this question to the realtor, the expert. When it comes to fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate during the month of December, how much of a difference could it make if you were trying to sell your home to make sure that it is decorated appropriately for that particular season? And I'm thinking like further out, like, should I put lights up on my house instead of not putting lights up on my house if I've got a for sale sign in the front yard? What do you think?
This one is, I would have answered this differently 16 years ago when I first moved here. I moved from a location that was very split on what was celebrated. Candidly, in our area, it is not so split. I would say, 90+% are going to go, well, we don't got to guess where the Christmas tree goes. So, honestly, there are, and look, if we're talking about Halloween, we're talking about fall decorations. Everybody loves the fall here because of how beautiful it is. So fall decorations, totally fine. Thanksgiving, totally fine, right? All of that fall, it just basically is more continued fall. Um, I think that that's not going to offend anybody. If anything, it might make the home feel warmer. To your point, like there might be an advantage. And then holidays like Christmas. And it's not like anyone's gonna be offended if it's not Christmas. Like if you do have any other whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever, any decorations, it won't offend people here, right? At all. And if anything, it could be a positive to the warmth and to the how your house lives.
In the case that we're not necessarily talking about the celebration of the holidays, let's say you've got two homes, equal square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, neighborhood, all the things are relatively equal. One home is you're driving around in early December, you go in for a showing. This home has lights and it's all lit up for the holidays, and the other one is not. Does it give the one with the lights and the decorations a small advantage?
You know what's funny? Yes. The answer is yes, it can. I mean, if it's tastefully done. Look, if it's like my buddy James, if he doesn't listen to this podcast, I'm sure, but if he did, he would laugh at
He
this.
should.
He should. He's three doors up from me. His house has just like he goes over the top. What's the Christmas movie that everybody laughs about?
Christmas Vacation.
Yes, he is that house.
Okay.
It is Christmas vomit everywhere. So, like his house, too much. Not tastefully decorated. I would tell James, yeah, you can't sell in the holiday season because you are insane. But normal people, I think it's helpful. And it's. I think a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to sell in the holidays because I don't want the inconvenience, or because I want to be able to celebrate. And I would say, like, it doesn't have to be. We're not in a market where you're going to get hundreds of showings anymore. Unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it. So if your house is if you think about putting your home on the market, you may get, especially between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you may get a showing or two a week tops. It's probably not going to be bonanza, and you probably won't feel like massively I don't know what the right word is, annoyed or inconvenienced by it. And to your point, Adam, I think the opposite of what most people think, which is it can help you. It can add warmth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because ultimately you want people to be able to picture what it's going to be like living in that home. And if they're a family that typically decorates their home for the holidays and they see one that is decorated, say, I really like the way that looks. It could help.
Here's one caveat. If your home is a little more quaint and it's a little tight once a tree is put up, right? Then maybe you don't hit the market in the fall, But if you have a nice size home, or you take a formal room that nobody ever knows what the heck to do with it, and you put a tree up there, heck yeah, it's great. That's perfect.
That is a great point. That is a great point, because that's probably something we would think about if we were in this situation, because we typically put our tree in our living room, which is not massive. And the tree, without question, makes it look even smaller than it normally is. So I think that's a great point.
I think that's the one caveat for sure. Like, look, if we're talking fall decorations, honestly, who's not a fan of that? Like, get out of here. Like, you should have your pumpkins or your corn or whatever you want to do. Throw it out there. By the way, I haven't had any candy corn. Haven't missed it. Just thought of that. I'm good with that.
Wow.
Are you a pro candy corn guy?
Absolutely. Yes, without question.
My wife agrees with you. I think it's weird, but that's fine. We digress. And the size of the rooms do matter for holidays, and so if you don't have a good spot for the tree, or it makes the room feel small, maybe don't put your home on the market.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. What are you like as a decorator? And I don't know if this is a better question for you or your wife in terms of getting the home festive for whatever season it is.
I think that I don't take much credit for any of the decorations, but it's usually done like she's very tasteful. The kids like to go a little more than she does, so we do a little bit more, but nothing like James up the street. we do tend to throw a little bit of extra holiday vomit on you.
Yeah, I think that's helpful. I'm looking forward to more of this weather. I'm looking forward to not necessarily looking forward to the leaves and having to deal with all of that. I would imagine that's a tip you can give people is if they're selling this time of year, make sure your leaves are taken care of, right?
And I will say, as you know, because you live in one of the most beautifully treed neighborhoods in our city, that can also be a pro and a con, right? As the leaves right now are starting to get that lighter, light green, yellowy tint to them, but haven't started falling primarily. That's a good time to sell. However, people do notice trees once they start to turn and start to fall. If you live in one of those big deciduous tree neighborhoods that are starting to drop like crazy, yeah, that could be a deterrent.
All right, so get that. If you live in one of those neighborhoods and you're trying to get showings, get that backpack blower ready.
Or if you've got gutter guards, like who cares? Like that's just a great promotion. Look what I did. See, you don't even have to worry about these trees.
Could be, yeah. Fair enough. Okay, my friend, as much as I love seeing you in your sweater vest, I think we've reached the end of our conversation. I can't wait to see which one you have for next month because we'll still be in prime sweater vest season and not quite in like full on jacket season yet.
I got two warmer ones. These are my light ones. These are my light vests, but the warm ones come soon.
Have you gotten one with like the battery powered heater that comes inside of it? Have you seen these?
Actually, it's funny. My brother bought me one. I have
Okay.
That.
Yeah, I figured you would.
My brother hopefully doesn't listen to this because I don't know where that is right now, but I got
All right, we'll find it. I want to see you wear it for the next podcast next month.
Okay, deal.
All right. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey,
tell people where that.
They can find me at 336-283-8689, 283-8689, theginthergroup.com, theginthergroup.com.
And make sure you follow their social media because they're always doing fun contests and promotions and different ways that you can get some really cool free stuff potentially just by being a client.
By the way, by the time this hits, they've got very little time to get in on the Fall on the Farm, which is next, which is Saturday the 25th. It's coming. This will probably launch or hit a few days prior. So get in there.
It's one of the best, if not the best event that they do the entire year. So yeah, make sure you go follow, get on their Facebook page, get on their Instagram page and get information on how you can be a part of their Fall at the Farm festival, which is so much fun.
Thank you. Good seeing you, brother.
Right.
And
We'll see
you in the studio, in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode on the Triad Podcast Network. Our mission is simple: provide information, advice, and stories about the people and places that make the North Carolina Triad such a great place to be. You can find us by searching Triad Podcast Network on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much wherever you like to listen. If you like what you heard and want to support the show and those that contribute, we would truly appreciate a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. It helps spread the word along, as do your shares on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Triad Podcast. To get in touch with us, simply email info@triadpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.